Just picked up a well cover, got that professional rigging going on. Still made it like 50 miles. Try and get this bed ready to plant tomatoes tomorrow. So putting the trellis up, the hooks, the wires that come down, get some clips going and all that stuff. Tori moved all the seedlings out of this bed into over here. The hook up there. Trying to make sure it's in the center of the bed. Tori can barely reach it.
Short.
So this bed was tatsoi. Fall into winter. We sold it all and then I amended it and tarped it and put the seedlings on it so it would be ready for tomatoes. It's pretty nice. We're about to put new drip tape on it.
Put a piece of rebar in the middle so that Casey just has to pull the end and walk down and it'll unreel itself.
Testing the drip tape out, it's good. Make sure the first hole lines up with the in between the two drip tape holes. You're gonna have to pull it really tight. We got the weed mat down for this bed. Put the sod staples in there. Those guys. It's really important to keep everything straight, so everything from like the wire to where these come down so that they meet right in the middle of the hole. Makes everything a lot easier. What do you think?
It's impressive. It's very professional.
Well, that thing would have blown off easily. Look how big this thing is. Had to go like, what is that, 30 miles on the highway?
I think it's like 45.
Yeah.
At least.
But I have drivers on the highway, so always keep a rope in your truck. This is an old tree climbing rope, and we've used it for a lot.
So Casey wanted a seating station, so we had a friend give us this little entertainment center for free, and so I just emptied it out and am gonna use it as a seating station now. So I have all the seed flats, and Casey can fill them with soil and bring them over here, and I'll just have a work surface to Steve, and then I can take them out and water them.
Digging this thing out so we can put the cover on, and it looks like the water flows to it, so divert it that way. Getting stuff done in the rain when we can. So we're about to put the wiring on this side and do as much prep as we can on that bed. We still have beets in here. Beets are a big seller for us, so we're going to try and push the beet availability out as far as we can, especially now. It's a nice looking beet. Can't beat that. Alright, we got these tomatoes up, planted, strung up, and our cucumbers are ready to leave the basement, so we're clearing collards. Tori is harvesting everything. that's big enough to take the restaurant, the honey hog, and then I'm coming behind with some pruners. Cutting the base, putting them in the cart, and then taking them to the chickens.
Alright, so we got all the collards cropped out and all the cucumbers in, and we just pretty much went through and added the amendment to it and then planted it, making sure not to bury the root collar at all, and then we just strung them up.
Getting ready to plant Salanova.
We have a lot to transplant.
George, rule number 1 to survive in a recession.
Save money first.
Rule number 2.
You know how to grow your own food.
Number 3.
Stock up on toilet paper.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Alright, what's the real one?
I would say just knowing how much it costs you to live per day and being able to budget towards that, just in case, and then like living below your means.
Always.
Yeah.
Rule number 4, wear the same clothes every day. I'm good at that one. Get this compost down for this bed of lettuce. That was arugula. It was tarp for, that was tarp for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Mowed and tarped. This is about done.
Also, Dave Ramsey, he's the man. He really changed my mindset on how to look at money, how to think about it, and how to just live your life debt-free and build wealth towards your future.
Tori's also really good with numbers, so that helps. Don't buy stuff you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like.
Yes.
Didn't think that would work. The economic stuff could be good or bad, depending for local foods and businesses like ours, but we've got some ideas for how to sell stuff if it does get bad around here and stuff like that. But hopefully we don't have to really get into it, but always gotta prepare and think about that stuff.
I'm gonna learn how to run this thing. I've been putting it off, and I really need to learn how, so.
I'm gonna record this for the people while I tell Tori, because people have asked. Alright, it's basically an engine, and then the axle, and then this back here is a gearbox that powers the attachment. This, the PTO. That means power takeoff, so like it's taking power from the engine to put it into the attachment. This is the kill switch. So you can't start it when it's red. You can start when it's green. If you want to stop it, just flick it up. Don't need this unless you're hauling it. It's a parking brake. This is the safety handle. You have to pull this one down and release that one for it to like move. This one is the gears. There's 3. I have it set up though already. You always want to run it in the first gear in the beds.
Why is that?
Because well, you want to keep a straight line for one. You want the attachment to work as good as it can. You can run it in second gear, but you're not going to get like
Just goes slower and moves more.
Well,
or...
when you have the power takeoff, like your engine will be like, it can run the attachment in first gear just fine. It can run it in second, but you work the motor harder if you're in second gear when there's no need to be. Like third gear is just travel mode.
Okay.
That's the throttle. This is down, that's up. this one moves it to the side. You don't need these. And then this adjusts it, so like if you want it higher or lower, but it's probably good. I'm gonna start it.
So it's on green, and I just pull the...
Yeah, it's on green. And then, since I just ran it, you don't need to move the choke over, which is this thing. If you were just starting it the first time, you would start it with the choke on, and then flick it off. But since it was just running, it's probably fine. Pull it hard, just like... Now, when you pull it, it will... Sometimes the compression of the engine will yank the hold on the other side, the way you were holding it. Sometimes the compression of the engine will yank the pull start thing back in. It will take your arm with it, so don't hold on to it tight. Just use like 2 fingers. That way it can slip.
And then let go.
Yeah, pull it out real hard. You want to spin this to get the piston going up and down. So just think of like you have to pull, you have to get this crank moving, and that's it.
Ah!
Okay. Okay. Here,
pull it harder?
No, put the choke on. Now pull it harder like you just did. Okay, now shut that off. You should always, if you're going to use the attachment, you should always run it at full throttle. It's designed to do that. You want to set it up straight, and then get going, and then move the handlebars over. Make minor adjustments.
That was fun.
Nice.
It was easier than I thought.
Yeah. That's just old dead crop residue here, there, so it'll be good. Proof worms will survive.
I thought it was gonna like fly off the bed. Like it was just gonna take off and I wasn't gonna be able to control it.
Yeah, no.
But it was easier than I thought, so I'm not so intimidated now,
Yeah.
I guess.
I've ran a lot of it, heavy equipment, and the key to all of it is small adjustments. So when you like see that it's turning a little bit, you don't wait until you have to overcorrect. You just nudge it.
Mm-hmm.
You can run it with one hand. It's just like you just have to do little things here and there.
Yeah.
The smaller the movement, the better.
It stayed pretty straight, I think.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, I just went through, made all the holes. See those there? Every 6 inches, 4 rows. Because of the weather this morning and the fact that the soil's already wet, Tori's just leaving them on top. And then we'll come through and plant them. That's 800 plants. Shouldn't really take too long. Alright, that's all planted. Alright, so now that it's warmed up a bit and it's raining and things like that, weeds are starting to pop up. So we will probably be cultivating for a while just to get ahead of it, and then to cultivate, you get ahead of it, and then you stay ahead of it so it never becomes an issue. Tori's got a stirrup, and then we made these on the end. I think it's the second video I made for YouTube, but it's just a hook put into the end of the handle, and it's for small areas.
Yeah, so you can kind of like scrape it in between your rows, and it'll just pick up anything small, uproot it, and then it'll die.
So that thing pulls the weeds out. This will pull it out or cut it like at the roots. It will expose the roots, and then a day like today where you had it rain last night and then it's warm and sunny and hot today and a little windy, it'll dry the roots out and everything will die a lot faster. If it's raining and wet and stuff, they'll just reroot. Cucumbers can be sensitive to colder temperatures, and we need to get them out of the basement. That's where I planted them yesterday, so I got an idea to make sure these guys are fine overnight. I think they'll be okay because of the plastic covering, but just in case, this is what we're gonna do. But last year they were okay. We had a really cold night and they did just fine. We've been building up the heat in this tunnel like all day so that the soil holds more heat overnight and releases it overnight. So we got the row covers here next to them. We're gonna bunch up some next to them on the ground, and then we're gonna take these longer ones, set them up. These are called tomahawks. We're gonna set them up on the tomahawks. Alright, so there's one side, and it's just clipped in. Just a little, it's just tearing the end of the row cover just a little bit so it sticks in there. And create the cucumber's own little blanket or whatever. Using what you already have set up, these row covers were just sitting around in the supply shed. If this doesn't work, if we have a cold snap, like I kind of want a cold snap just to test it, but if it doesn't work, I'm gonna be mad. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. As long as no wind hits it, this should be good.
Well, the end walls are closed.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Creative.
How was Wednesday?
Busy.
Dinner time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dinner.
Just gotta clean up some rakes and I'm good.
Good.
For dinner.
Sweet.
Harvesting spinach.
Okay, so I got a comment on one video that said, broad forking stupid and a waste of time, stop doing it. Okay. Think I'll keep broad forking. Sold out quick last week. The cucumber blanket worked. They all seem fine. No noticeable damage. So that's good. Big day today, it's Friday, so we got on-farm pickups, people coming. It was really busy last week. We expected to be busy this week. My stuff got switched up at the market tomorrow in Charlotte. They're spreading us all out for the virus. We still got stuff left to harvest, still got a bunch to wash. We had to actually deliver last night to the Honey Hog instead of this morning because they ran out and they were expecting a busy night last night, and they had a busy night just doing carry-out orders and stuff like that. So it's really cool that they're still moving along. And just for the record, we are taking the virus stuff seriously, extra cleaning, washing our hands, bleaching the wash station, trying to pre-bag as much as we can, all that stuff. Got our Medicis coming.
Good. They're pretty cute.
Tori's putting orders together. And we got, let's see, salad, kohlrabi, spinach, kale, microgreens, edible flowers, carrots,
beets, radish, collards, eggs.
Yeah, we need to put a light in here.
Yeah.
Friday farm tour. The Friday pickups went good. A lot of great customers came out. Really grateful for everybody. All right, this is plot 1 and tunnel 1. And this is where we had the tomatoes in last year. And then this is where we had the winter carrots. And then this tunnel, we're gonna move over here where it's tarped. And that's where we're gonna put the tomatoes. This tunnel has tatsoi, carrots, salad mix, and the rest of this kale. This is tunnel 2 and plot 2. So all the onions and then this tunnel. So we've got salad, spinach, which we just harvested so it looks really sparse. More salad, and then more salad to keep up with demand. And then under the insect net back there is turnips. This is plot 3 and tunnel 3. But there's radish, mustard greens, salad, turnips, arugula, and then all the old collards that we've left to flower for the bees. We're gonna take them all out next week. Tunnel 3's got the tomatoes, will be tomatoes, a bunch of seed flats, that's beets, that's a spinach bed.
Plot 4 has carrots, another succession of carrots, some radishes that we just cropped out today, and kale, Swiss chard, some kohlrabi, some arugula and more kale that's starting to bolt that we've had all winter, and salad mix, and then the tunnel which has cucumbers, more beets, and then it's gonna have some tomatoes and peppers in it. So this is plot 5. It has garlic, leeks, some old bunching onions mixed in with some spinach, some carrots, lettuce mix, fennel, kohlrabi, and carrots. 6, we have cabbage for the honey hog, kohlrabi, and kale, and then radish, turnips, beets, two beets, a red beet and a gold beet, and more carrots. And then plot 7 is all pretty much cover cropped right now. This is gonna be plot 8. It's gonna be where we have to put all of our squash for the honey hog, and like red curry squash, candy roasters, winter squash, all that stuff. We still gotta finish it. There's 3 beds built already, and we have to build 3 more.
This is a shed that Richard gave us, the neighbor over here.
Yeah.
And Phil and I moved it with a skid steer. So we put row cover in it, and I'll show you guys how we store the row cover because it's pretty cool. This is how we store the row cover in a daisy chain, and that way you can store a lot in a small area. And it's pretty easy to move it around and take it to a bed and just pull it out. And we store the insect net the same way. That's our employee of the month. Okay, it's Sunday and we gotta finish these beds, 3 more beds to build. And then we gotta tarp this with the evil plastic so it will kill the Bermuda grass.
So much Bermuda.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It'll die though under the silage tarp. How'd your market go yesterday?
Good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah, I had a social distancing line every 6 feet.
Yeah. Charlotte was
good.
Yeah, Charlotte was pretty crazy. We sold just about everything, and what we didn't, Ben's coming today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a chef that we deal with. Oh, we actually kind of made a living this month too.
Yeah, we did.
Doing it for
Thankfully.
real. Yeah. So the way the tarps will kill the Bermuda grass is, which otherwise normally can't be killed and everyone in the southeast hates. So they'll grow off their stem like this. So if you break this anywhere, you still have a storage under here of energy. And roots can come out all along this, like that there is a new root. And then, so now you have, like if you till it, now you have 1, 2, 3 plants instead of 1. But what the tarp does is keeps it covered and keeps the sun out. So if you look at the plot, you'll see that yellowish color. That's because it can't create the actual food from photosynthesis because it's not getting enough sunlight, and it will keep trying to grow out of here, and it will wear out all of the Bermuda's energy, and then it will be dead. And if you don't believe it that it works, that whole plot was tarped last summer, and we've seen 1 piece show up out of the whole thing. It's 4,000 square feet. That plot was all Bermuda grass. That one was half Bermuda grass here. It works. But that's how it works. Here we got all the beds built now, and Tori's piecing together some drip irrigation here. We bought that from Mike, the Fit Farmer, like
Yeah.
how many years ago? Like 4 years ago?
I think 2. It was like right before we went to North Corner.
Yeah. Long time ago. That was 2017. Yeah, dang. We got amendments down. That's pretty much it. And just get the tape, drip tape ready, and then tarp it.